Greetings, dear friends! I present to your attention the most common malfunctions and breakdowns that occur on the Mitsubishi Outlander. Units MIVEC 2.0 4B11 146 HP and 2.4 4B12 167 HP are ready to plow hundreds of thousands kilometers, albeit with an immodest appetite, but without disgust, swallowing 90-second gasoline from not the most famous gas stations. Yes, a catalyst in the range from 100 to 150 TKM will most likely go to the trash heap. There will be pistons knocking as on the related Hyundai G4 KD. The valve clearances must be adjusted to the first 100,000 kilometers. And that's all. Problems of a catastrophic nature in the first 300 TKM are practically excluded if we act reasonably. There are no external differences between the 2.0 and 2.4 engines. Even the blocks are the same. The volume is different only due to the differences in the design of the crankshaft, connecting rods and pistons. 3-liter V-shaped engine 6B31 227 HP, in addition to impressive dynamics, can give years of carefree use, since it has practically no pronounced weak points, with the exception of the already familiar crescent demands on oil quality. Do not forget that, unlike the lower units, the timing belt uses a belt here, the break of which inevitably ends in a set sticking. Problems with tuning the earbuds, which the XL synth, are no longer observed with the V6 MIVEC, so fans of the more dynamic version can exhale. Only a few cars with this engine were bought. Initially it was expensive. Plus, instead of a variator, a traditional automatic machine is installed here, which means that in the used market you will have to hunt for such a version. There are many of you who have wanted to get a hassle-free car. Yes and no. You will have to clarify when and what was installed here. From the very beginning of production in the Mitsubishi Outlander 3, a massive JF011E variator, known to everyone from many other cars on the world market, was used as an automatic transmission. Relatively reliable, but, as we know, the same unit can behave differently on different mechanisms. There are many factors, and the mass is different, and the settings, and the target audience. The Outlander 3 was completely deprived of the external radiator of the cooling system, which is why the owners had to install it on their own. Otherwise, it does not give rest, it overheats, especially at high speeds on the highway and during long forays into the forest. There are no problems in the city. Due to too frequent overheating, the oil will be changed more often, but no one warned the regulations, and the very reliable CVT itself on the Outlander proved to be worse than on other models. Valve body valves are clogged. Cone bearings fail, in advanced cases seizures appear on the cones, the belt wears out. Fortunately, maintainability allows you to eliminate everything without a complete replacement relatively inexpensively. Well, how inexpensive? From 60 to 100,000 rubles, depending on the amount of work and the selected service. In 2014, the radiator was returned back, and the problem of overheating went into oblivion, and the average resource of a constantly variable transmission increased by 50%. With the first restyling in 2015, a new generation Jatco CVT JF016E CVT8 entered the transmission line. Although the hardware in fact differs little from its predecessor, but the behavioral factors have changed for the better. Moreover, perceptibly, or as one of the owners of the updated Outlander says, heaven and earth, the resource has practically not changed. Although, when disassembling the valve body, it becomes clear that the box has only been beautifully configured and the filling has been made as cheap as possible. Manufacturers do not need reliability. It seems that no suitable CVT was found for the 3-liter Outlander, so Mitsubishi had to use the old, proven and therefore trouble-free hydromechanical automatic Jatco JF613. Here it is reliable and there is nothing to say. You know, the rest of the Mitsubishi Outlander 3's drivetrain is probably the strongest. Considering what gears and bearings have to work with from the very beginning and not break, we can say that there are no weak points at all. As the owners of Outlander 3 noticed, the manufacturer made it a rule to not add oil to the gearboxes, which many people learn with horror during an attempt to change the lubricant. All this could be blamed on the chronic incontinence of the handout and rear axle oil seals, but some knowledgeable owners change fluids almost immediately after buying a car from the salon, and the picture, even in the case, is absolutely identical. The oil is black with shavings and it is clearly less than the level. It is not necessary to scold strongly for the shortcomings of the chassis, not free-flowing for sure. In general, with the collection of statics on suspension breakdowns, everything is complicated. As it turned out, even a serviceable chassis can walk louder than expected from it. Perhaps the point is in noise insulation, or rather in its absence. However, many complaints are not at all unfounded. For example, on door styling machines, hot bearings really went into another world one after another, even up to 100 km. Otherwise, nothing special. The silent blocks of the levers also quietly perform work of 250 km, but not the rubber bands of the stabilizer. Up to 100,000 km, everything will most likely have to be updated, and together with the rods, the service life of shock absorbers is also about 100 km on average. There are practically no problems with ball joints. The rear multi-link will not require repair at least while the variator is working, or even more. So at once all the problems do not get enough sleep. Drive 250 km of silent blocks of levers, just spit. Even if the rear part decently sags down, then know that the matter is most likely in the springs. The steering wheel also not take long to heal. The first knocks in the steering crown when the steering wheel is swaying from side to side can be safely blamed on the EUR mechanism. This is its normal operation. Be sure to check your vehicle for ongoing recall campaigns. It may be possible to replace the rear calipers and the handbrake mechanism at the dealer for free, which over time can begin to wedge and therefore eat gasoline, brake discs, pads, and generally create a risk of overheating of such a critical unit. Don't even tighten. For the electrical part of the Outlander 3 will make you worry. More precisely, the weak and not the cheapest place here is the comfort module, also known as the ETACS control unit. The ECU cannot be repaired at all, only replacement. The most common symptom of its imminent breakdown is inadequate lighting or engine cooling fans. Did this system take on a life on their own? Get your money ready. Upon exiting the warranty, only the melted connector under the driver's seat is changed for free, since a large-scale recall campaign has been launched for its soul. It rusts pretty fast too. It is better to tint any chips and scratches immediately, otherwise the affected area will give rise to a saffron meal cap. This is especially well seen on the bottom, seals and muffler for 3-4-year-old Outlanders that have not undergone additional processing. The thickness of the paintwork is normal, about 100 microns, but judging by the rapidly spreading scratches and abrasions, the coating is weak and does not stay on the body very well. Even the place of contact with the door seals on the racks is losing weight right before our eyes. When looking for used Outlander 3, you will notice that they are divided into two types: cars with a crack in the windshield and cars with an already changed windshield. Everything as with the third Ford Focus. Few people manage to keep such a fragile creature in its virgin form. Some Chinese substitutes, for example XYG and Benson, are as much stronger than the original as they are cheaper, and they hold the blow and do not let the bend go when the windshield heating is turned on. Unfortunately, yes. But we are only talking about specific things. For example, the plastic of the panel and door skins is easily and quickly covered with a scattering of scratches. it is better not to touch it at all, and even more so not to disassemble the center console once again. The sides of the driver's seat are also pressed through. The steering wheel is overwritten so that by 100,000 kilometers the interior will be comfortable, but nothing more. In addition, there are few patents among the owners of the Mitsubishi Outlander 3. This completes the information about the problems of the Mitsubishi Outlander. If you know more or do not agree with what you heard, I'm waiting for you in the comments.